Ready? Boys were singing, shingling the summer that we met. You and I were 17. And with every star from near and far, we're watching from above, watching two teenagers fall in love. The way we danced was not a dance, but more a long embrace. We held on to each other and floated there in space. Evening, everybody. Change. Go, Champy. There's been something, baby, I've been trying to say. For an age, and it seems I don't know how. Past and the future now surrounding me. Surrender to whatever you feel can be found. There's been a little trouble since you came to my rescue. And if you like all of the rest, I would have quit you long ago, but I couldn't do that. Tell me now, women, why I never went too well. Make a man crazy, make him cold as hell. I'm a woman that you wish me well, but in spite of you trying, still gonna have to find my own way through. Like the mist of morning, my dream remains, hanging in the burnt fields of my memory. Time is a chorus of your disdain, left behind me. I'm searching solutions on a double, on this 2-ton telephone home. My friend says you ain't got no real troubles, just too many choices that you left undone. My friend says put an action to those words, put an action to those words, it'll all come. Oh, tell me now, women, why I never went too well. Make a man crazy, make him cold as hell. I know, woman, that you wish me well, but in spite of you trying, I'm still gonna have to try to sing a champy. Oh, champy, 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 champy. Doggy. That's a good doggy. That's a good doggy. You did good. That's a good pupper. That champ, he's a pro. He's a pro. Whether he wants to sing, doesn't want to sing, the guitar starts strumming, he goes. Let that be a lesson to all of us. You're like, I don't know anything about AI. Just start singing. Just go. Just go. Fucking learn it. Have fun. Froggies. Robert Rossi, thank you so much for the generosity as always, sir. Very much appreciate it. TGIM. Happy Monday, everybody. Is it Monday? It is Monday, right? Yeah. It's Monday. All right. Let's see. Got some fun things tonight. Couple of things that are decently a big deal, but not getting a massive amount of aren't getting a massive amount of press. Well, one of them I feel like a dum-dum. One of them I had access to, but I didn't think I had access to it. So we'll play with that. And it's pretty cool. And then one of them, Google announced another thing, and it's pretty slick. And it's important. This transformer thing, the T in GPT, if you don't know what the T stands for transformer. If you don't know what that is, it's a it's a technology that allows machine learning models to be trained on these really massive data sets, like, as much of the internet as you can get your hands on, for example, or whatever other kind of data you want. So it's incredibly flexible and incredibly powerful. And so what they shared is just like a different data set thrown at this thing. And it's super cool. So we'll look at that. What else? Welcome, everyone. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. We do some learning here. Sometimes we talk about cash.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Sometimes I go rambling. Lately, I've been going rambling. Occasionally, I will make a good point. But don't expect it. Don't go expecting it. I almost always have passion. Whether or not I have clarity, whole different conversation. What else? I'm speaking tomorrow at I think it's called the Consortium of Service Professionals. So I'm going to show them I showed some of my new Storyvine AI stuff. So my company's Storyvine. I'm the founder and CEO of that. And I showed some of the new AI stuff to a group of folks in Content Evolution. And one of them said, hey, you should show this to this larger group. So, Edgar, it's Tuesday there. Happy Tuesday. TGIT. You gotta be careful with that one. You miss a letter in there, and pretty soon you're kicked off TikTok forever. So I'll show you the info for that. But if you go to the Consortium for Service Professionals, I assume they've got the sign up form there if you want to see me talk and preview some shit. Talk in a professional setting, not in my TikTok persona. My TikTok persona is sassier than my professional persona. I try to keep it entertaining either way. So here's the deal. If you have questions about AI, if you have comments about what's going on with AI, if you're scared of it, if you're pissed off about it, if you just think I look like a D-list celebrity and want to make a comment on that, have at it. That happens too. And just pop them in the comments below. No F-bombs at the Consortium. I try to refrain my F-bombs, but I will read the room, right? So, but this is like 150 people have RSVP'd for this thing. So, although to be clear, 150 people show up here here pretty regularly, and it doesn't prevent me from f-bombing in here. But I'm representing another organization, so sometimes they have standards. They don't want Frank to show up. Hey, Frank. Frank, what are you doing here? It's Thursday. There's no game. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at the Consortium of Service Professionals. I won't be showing Frank. By the way, Silver Fox, lovely image here. Look at this. We'll go details on this. Watch that. What's the link? The link is, let me go find it. If you go to my LinkedIn, which is Kyle Shannon, at Kyle Shannon. Am I on LinkedIn? Oh, yeah. That's Frank. Here's Frank if you haven't seen Frank.
So I come down to the field to play the game, and they're like, hey, Frank, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm here for the game. They're like, Frank, it's Thursday. There's no game today. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. There's no game today. I'm ready for the game. They're like, Frank.
Sorry, I got carried away.
You look
fucking delicious. The AI Learning Lab. So can I understand this channel? So this is really just Kyle entertaining himself for 2 hours? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, good Lord. All right. So if you go to my profile, Kyle Shannon. Hey, Kyle. Where? Huh. Wait, it's not there. I'm confused. Maybe I did it as a reaction. All right, it's serviceinnovation.org. And then you go to events, consortium events, and then leveraging AI for content creation and storytelling. All right. So serviceinnovation.org/events. And then singing, Frank, the boxes, and some AI stuff. Oh, Jane Doe. Good reminder. I'll do the box thing tonight. If you don't know the box thing, I'll talk about this box. If you've never seen me talk about this box, you're missing out. There's some serious excitement to be had in the box conversation. All right, February 2024. Virtual event. Let's see how it's described. I don't think I've actually gone to the description. Join Kyle. So it can be hard to feel connected with our customers and employees in today's digital first world. A modular approach to content creation coupled with storytelling offers a powerful customer and employee engagement model. Join Kyle Shannon, CEO of Storyvine, Kevin Clark of Content Evolution, and Matt Seaman of the Consortium for Service Innovation for a discussion and a preview of exciting new AI-powered content creation and visualizations. That's what I'm going to be showing. I don't know what we're visualizing, but it sounds good. I'll be showing shit, so that's visual. All right, let's go look at some cool shit, shall we? First thing I'm going to do is go to... I'm going to go to the Twitter. Formerly known as Twitter, now known as X. All right. am going to search for Genie. Who let the genie? Who let the genie out? Won't. Genie. Hello, Genie. Google. Where's the paper? Let me see the paper. Where is it at? This is making me crazy. Here we go. Website. Google Genie. So we'll play this here video. Generate a playable world, text to playable world. So they trained a foundation model on 2D scrollers, side scrollers. I guess including code to play them or physics or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they did. I haven't read the details of the paper, so I don't know. But this is the first, we talked about this, that this is the first probably in a series of, you're going to be able to just say, I want to play this kind of game. And you can just go play them. And that enabling new generation of creators. Amazingly, it only takes a single image to create an entire new interactive environment. This opens the door to a variety of new ways to generate and step into virtual worlds. For instance, we can take state-of-the-art text-to-image generation model, use it to produce the starting frames, and then we can bring those to life with Genie. So I guess you provide it. You provide it the artwork, and it provides the code. But it doesn't stop there. We can even step into human-designed creations as sketches or real-world images. So I guess you could make a side scroller of like kitchen items on the kitchen on the kitchen counter. A stepping stone for generalist agents. A stepping stone. Oh, Frank the Hot Dog. Frank the Hot Dog, the video game. That's really good, Captain Mutt. That's really good. A side scroller with Frank. Put some sound effects in there. Hey, is there a game today? Hey, where's Tommy? Tommy's the big boss at the end of the level. Frank's just trying to avoid Tommy. and he's running around the baseball field. And people keep grabbing his bun. It's pretty good. Genie also has implications for training generalist agents. So I've been talking the weirdness that's coming. Someone asked the other night, what's coming in 2024? Reasoning, agents, and full multimodality. So video, audio, all that stuff mixed together. Genie has implications for training generalist agents. Previous works have shown that game environments can be effective testbed for developing AI agents, but we're often limited by the number of games available. With Genie, our future AI agents can be trained in a never-ending curriculum of new generated worlds, right? So if you've ever heard people talk about synthetic data used to train models, and they're like, oh, synthetic data is going to fuck up all the models. It may or may not, right? So this is the kind of thing where you can probably do some serious training with just, very little input. This is just scratching the surface. The future of generative virtual worlds. Finally, while we've focused on the results from platformers, so side scrollers, on this website, Genie is a general method and can be applied to a multitude of domains without requiring any additional domain knowledge. We trained a similar 2.5 billion model on action-free videos from RT1, as was the case with platformers, trajectories with the same latent action sequence typically displayed similar behaviors. So this is why we don't read white papers, people, because technologists write sentences like, as was the case for platformers, trajectories with the same latent action sequence typically display similar behaviors. That's English words, but that is not an English sentence. Sure, technically you could parse it and argue that there's a sentence in there, but come on. Basically, it did shit, and it did shit like the other shit, is pretty much, I think, what that says. Wait, you know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to take this, and we're going to go to ChatGPT, and we're going to go, oh, come on. Come on, ChatGPT. Do I not have internet connection? Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me still? Do I have dead Chrome? I can't get ChatGPT to work right now. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's always a good sign, actually. If ChatGPT's not working, that generally means they're updating some shit. I get excited when ChatGPT's not working. All right, that's my site. That's the Storyvine Authenticity Engine, and this is ChatGPT not working. Ooh, we might get something while we're live tonight, people. We could get memory tonight, we could get something else, or it could just be sucking. It wasn't working for me. Mine isn't working. All right, fine. You know what? We have other options than ChatGPT. Let's go over. Oh, you know who we'll go to? We'll go to Gemini.google.com, and we'll ask them what the fuck their own engineers wrote. What the fuck does this mean? Question mark. And then I'm going to put in quotes, and I'm going to put in that sentence. And then I'm going to say, as if English was my first language. Ooh, they got some new things. Here's a breakdown of the sentence. In simpler terms, assuming English isn't your first language. No, I said it was my first language. It was a joke. Didn't get it. Platformers, trajectories. Okay. So, the entire sentence basically means, in platformer games, if two different paths, trajectories, have the same sequence of actions, latent action sequence, the characters playing those paths will usually perform similar actions despite potentially looking different. And so what they were talking about, where was I? I have too many tabs open, people. Genie. So I guess they're talking about 2.5D here, where I guess one of these is the training data and one of these is the robots acting like the other robots. Anyway, there's the Genie team. So that's Genie. So that's just out in as a white paper right now. And then I think there's or maybe they released it as a code base as well. Research paper. Genie. So there you go. You want to go learn all about this thing? They explain how they're doing what they're doing. Oh, you know what we're going to do? Dolly is not working. It doesn't sound like anything's working right now. I would assume what that means, Google Genie. I would assume that they've got a bunch of servers offline, which generally means an upgrade. All right, so we're going to go to... Oh, I can't do it here. I'm going to go to Claude. Oh, and if... Actually, you know what is interesting? No, Kyle, what? It's going to be interesting to see if Copilot is up, Microsoft's version of ChatGPT, because then I can show you Copilot and we can talk about the box. And actually, we can see if Copilot's gotten any better because they've been improving that shit. All right, so I'm going to go grab the Google Genie paper. I'm going to upload that to... You may not upload files larger than 10 megabytes. Oh, come on! You big poopy heads. Let's open this up, see if we can get... Let's get export PDF, reduce file size. Let's see if we can reduce file size without it killing all the images. It'll probably kill all the images, but whatever. All right. That's going. Seems like it's going. Make this a little bigger so you can see it. All right, Google Genie PDF is in there. So I'm going to say, explain what this paper is about as if I were a consumer who loves video games. Let's just leave it at that. Dolly working for me in London. That's further evidence for me that they've got banks of servers down in some parts of the world and not other parts of the world. So I'm guessing that the US is... I'm guessing OpenAI is doing a big upgrade right now. Or there's a DDoS attack on them because someone's pissed off at Sam Altman. The paper introduces a new AI system called Genie that can generate interactive playable video game worlds from text, images, or sketches. Here's an explanation aimed at video game consumers. Have you ever imagined your own video game world and wished you could actually play in it? With Genie, now you can! Genie's a new AI technology from DeepMind that lets anyone create their own personalized interactive game environments just by providing a text description, drawing a picture, or even an existing photo. Hey, Jenny! For example, you could describe your dream video game in a few sentences like a girl with a magic wand exploring a fairy tale full of talking animals. What kind of animals? Turtles, llamas, hedgehogs, gummy bears, bunnies, rabbits. Genie would generate a playable game world matching your description, or you could draw a crude sketch. The key thing that makes Genie so exciting is that the worlds it creates aren't just non-interactive videos or images, you can actually play them yourself. As you provide input commands, Genie will generate new frames of animation showing how your character moves and what happens in response to your actions. Oh, that sounds janky as fuck. So this is going to be janky when it first comes out. So basically, it generates a game, and then you give it input keys, and then it figures out what to do. And then I guess it gets better after that. So if you tell the girl with the magic wand to jump, Genie will create a smooth animated jump. It's like your imagination comes to life. While Genie's still an early research project, the potential is amazing for both gamers and game developers. And that's just with 2D, right? So the important thing to think about with this paper is what Google was saying there. It's not about the 2D game. The 2D game is just like a test bed, right? What they're saying is we can give it environments, and then based on behavior of other environments, other games, we can make new games, right? So, or other real world interactions. This is a project that's not dissimilar to OpenAI's Sora, the video generation thing that really isn't about video. It's about understanding and simulating the physical world, right? So this paper is actually in a similar venue as the Sora paper, which is interesting, or the Sora announcement. All right, so that's cool. So that's that. Now we're going to go to, oh wait, I said I was going to go to, let me try ChatGPT one more time. Oh, it's back. ChatGPT be back. Google Genie. Let's compare the answer here. Explain this to me like I am a video game consumer. So what we just saw was Claude AI. That's from Anthropic. And this is ChatGPT. Introduction and purpose. Genie is a generative AI model that represents the first of its kind, trained unsupervised from the internet videos. It can create a vast array of virtual environments that users can interact with. With 11 billion parameters, Genie stands as a foundational model. This is not... Explain it to me like I'm a video game consumer. This isn't very consumer friendly. Training data. Trained on over 200,000 hours of publicly... Oh, wow, that's cool. Trained on over 200,000 hours of publicly available internet gaming videos. Genie operates without the need for specific action or text annotations, distinguishing it from other approaches. Right? This is the whole thing about the transformer. And how they're approaching it here. Distinguishing it from other approaches. So, operates without the need of specific action or text annotations. So normally what happens is you give a transformer a bunch of data that you've tagged. Right? So you say, this is a picture of a dog, and you tag it as dog, and maybe it's sitting on near a bench, and there's bench is one of the tags in there. This is saying it can just watch the video because Gemini 1.5 Pro is multimodal and can read video, can read up to like an hour of video. So they're probably using some of that ability to read video that it's just watching. It's watching 200,000 hours of people playing games. And that's how it knows what to do. Wild. Training process involves rigorous scaling analysis. All right. Ultimately, a subset of 30,000 hours of these videos were used for training the final 11 billion parameter model. In conclusion, Genie... Okay, so let's say... write a sexy social media post that will get gamers excited about this with a catchy headline. Gamers, brace yourself for an unprecedented leap into the future. Meet Genie, an AI marvel that's about to revolutionize the gaming experience. Imagine diving into worlds generated from your wildest dreams. All right, whatever. Let's see if anything new showed up in our settings here. Custom settings, beta features, no, builder profile. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know this, so if you're in ChatGPT, this is welcome to Chat ADD. That's what we do around here. I'm just all over the fucking place. If you go to the GPT store, which Explore GPTs is the GPT store, and if you click on any GPT, it now has this kind of review card, right? That's, here's how many people have used it. Here's its ranking. Here's the conversation starter questions. And then next to the person's name is a link out to the website or link out to social things. So if I go to one of mine, there's my name, Altman's Odyssey, and I roll over that, there's a link to my LinkedIn and there's a link to my Twitter as part of my GPTs. You set those up, you go over to your settings, and you go builder profile, and there's some new options here. You can verify a website, and then you can link to your socials. So that's pretty slick. All right. So that's ChatGPT. That's a GPT. Let me hop over to Copilot. I assume it's working just fine. Yeah, it looks just fine. Now, something interesting to note. Sometimes when I come to Copilot, it says I've got 4,000 words or tokens. I don't know if they're using words or tokens. Sometimes it says 2,000. Sometimes it says 4. Right now I've got 4. And then I saw a tweet that said it can now do horizontal images or vertical images, which, let's see. Make a wide image of a 70s muscle car in an abandoned factory. I'll try to create that. The last time I tried to do this, it gave me a weird answer. Like it couldn't figure out if it was a image generation tool or just a text only tool. It was very confused. Yep, these are still square only. But one of the cool things, they stole this from Adobe. I can take any one of these. I can take any image I've got in here. They're doing a couple of things. There's a paper out from Meta called Segment Anything, which automatically detects, things within a scene. So they're doing that. So you can click on the car here, and then you can do like blur background. And so now the car's in focus and the background's blurry. Or I can do this and do color pop, and it makes everything black and white except the car, right? So that's pretty slick. And then they have different styles down here: low poly, origami, claymation, Art Deco. So let's do a 70s muscle car. Uh-oh, my mouse just went poopy. Let's do a 70s muscle car in Art Deco style. Kyle, have you experimented with Pinocchio? I'm interested, but also not that tech savvy. I've run it once or twice, but no, I haven't really played with it. I am generally avoiding the open source world right now. So basically, that took a 70s muscle car and made it look like an AMC Javelin and cleaned up the factory. That doesn't look like that does not look like Art Deco. But let's go block print, and then we'll try steampunk. So no, I haven't, but it looks very cool. But I can't keep up with the commercial shit, much less the open source stuff. The open source stuff is 10 times, there's like 10 times more going on, and a lot of it's just a massive waste of your time. Oh, that's good. See, that's a nice block print. That looks good. Steampunk. Let's steampunk it out. By the way, what you're looking at right now, this is Microsoft's Copilot, copilot.microsoft.com. This is kind of the free version of ChatGPT. So this is using Dolly, the Dolly engine sitting underneath it. Ooh, that's steampunk. That's nice. It added a nice blower on the front of the car. That's pretty slick. So I'm gonna say looks good. Let's see what it does. Oh, it just keeps it. And now I can color pop it. Put everything in the background in black and white. Like, that's pretty slick, right? Now, there's another thing going on here at Copilot. They've got Copilot GPTs. So GPTs in OpenAI's world are things that individuals can create. You're going to be able to do that within Microsoft in a thing called Copilot Studio. But they've got 5 GPTs here that kind of change the behavior of this. One of them is Designer. And this might be a place where we can make a wide image. Let's try this. Make a 16 by 9 wide image of a green muscle car from the 70s in an abandoned factory. And they've also got over here a vacation planner, a cooking assistant, and a fitness trainer. So these are kind of little specialized versions of Copilot. So what it's doing now is it's describing what it's going to do. All right. And then it's doing it, I guess. This is Microsoft Designer. I can help creating exciting images by presenting the diverse... I have created an image based on your... Yep, it's still square. So I saw someone on ye old internet... was showing Microsoft Copilot where it was making wide images. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so you can do all the same stuff here, right? You can grab the object, you can blur the background if you want. Boom. I wonder if I can blur it more. Blur the background more. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty slick. You can just keep blurring it and blurring it and blurring it. What's this? Copying. Share. All right. Try the word landscape. All right. Let's try it. Make this landscape. If it turns it into a field of flowers with a little stream running by. Oh no, that's what it's doing. Sure, I can make a landscape image for you. I've generated, oh my God. Oh, Microsoft, really? Really? I have generated an image based on this description, a landscape of a mountain range with snow-capped peaks. So here's your landscapes that are not in landscape. Good lordy, 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 lordy. All right. Well, that's that. So let me show you what's going on. We haven't done the box the box talk. Time for box talk. Aspect ratio 3 to 2. I tried aspect ratio 16 by 9. It didn't get it. If it can't get it after 3 different ways of asking for it. I asked for it wide. I asked for it 16 by 9 wide. I asked for landscape, and it made me a pretty picture of a mountain. I'm done. I am done with Copilot. So here we go. Okay. ChatGPT. If you're new to generative AI, if you're new to AI and you're trying to figure out, but Kyle, where do Lord Digital Gods, embrace the jank. I should absolutely embrace the jank at Microsoft. There's something about, they've had this shit for longer than anyone. This thing was good for about 3 weeks, and then they lobotomized it, and it's been shitty ever since. And so I have very little tolerance for their weakitude. They're being led by their lawyers, and it's making me cranky. Although I can tell you this, my buddy and ex-colleague John Knack, who was at Adobe, just left for Microsoft. So I am going to reach out to John Knack and see what he's doing and see if he can kick some butt and get him to turn this into something less janky. Anyway, if you're new to generative AI and you're like, Kyle, I don't know where to start. Where should I start? Hey, Kyle, where should I start? Kyle. I want to learn AI. What do I do? How do I get up to speed? What do I do? Go to chat.openai.com. Chat.openai.com. That's it. Start there. Start with ChatGPT. I have exciting news. A human being. Boss approved ChatGPT Plus. Yay! So I have it at work to play with. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Just say it out loud. This is one of the things I talk about. Play, solve, share. That's the only thing you need to be doing right now with AI. Start with ChatGPT and just start playing with it. Well, what do you mean play? I mean play. Like don't take it seriously. Play. Have it write songs. Have it make stupid Frank the Hot Dog pictures. Doesn't matter. Just play with it. Play. Solve means figure out a problem that you got for yourself or ideally for someone else and see if you can solve that problem using AI. Not to solve it necessarily, but to learn if you can. And what you might find out is like, too janky. Or what you might find out is, holy shit, that's good. And the third thing is share. Talk about it. Anyway, that's what you want to do with ChatGPT too. Start with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the best. If you can afford the $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus, do it now. Get it now. There was about a 2-month period there where they weren't allowing new people to have access to it, and people were very frustrated. So that limitation isn't there. The $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus, in my opinion, is the best deal in software right now. And if you want to get AI literate, you should really understand what ChatGPT 4 can do. All of what it can do. I used Perplexity to write a press release for our grand opening. Oh, that's awesome. Really good. Awesome. Now, if you can't afford the $20 a month, you can use Microsoft Copilot. So Microsoft Copilot is their version of ChatGPT 4. And you're like, oh, but it's the same thing. It's not. And you're like, but Kyle, they said it's ChatGPT 4 and they gave OpenAI $10 billion. And they did. And you're like, but it's the same thing, right? No. That's why we have the box. Okay. So right now in the world, and Google has they've got a whole version of this problem themselves. They've got Bard, which they've retired. They've got Gemini. They've got Gemini Pro. They've got Gemini Ultra. They've got Gemini Pro 1.5, which is better than Gemini Ultra 1. It's chaos. OpenAI has it too. You've got GPT-4, which is the model. You've got ChatGPT, or ChatGPT-4 as it's often called, which is the application. And then you've got GPTs, which are these other things. Okay. So this box represents GPT-4. What is GPT-4? Well, it's the frontier model, or or the foundation model. It's the brain underneath all this shit. And if you open up the box, it's empty. Well, that's not very good. Well, what do they put in the box? What they put in the box, they use this thing called a transformer that allows machine learning models to ingest massive amounts of data. And so what OpenAI seems to have done better than other people right now is they've gotten better data, and they went out and they got as much of the public internet as they could, and they tagged it and they formatted it in special ways that this transformer could read it, and then they essentially dumped as much of the public internet in this specially formatted way into the box. So GPT-4 is kind of this hermetically sealed data set that they call the latent space. It's this 1,000-dimensional mathematical space with all these things called vectors in them. And vectors represents pointers to words up in vector space. And when you type in a prompt, it makes a probability weighting, and it basically goes into the box and says somewhere in this space is a vector, a point in space that is the highest probability of being the right thing. And then that's associated with a word, and they put that word on screen. So that's how it works. So this is just the brain. Sitting on top of the brain is an application that they wrote called ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is actually an app. It's a web app, and there's now a mobile app. And actually, the mobile app it's distinct from the web app. There's two of them, right? But they're using the same basic code on the inside, right? On the inside of this. So that's ChatGPT. And then, wait, hang on. I wasn't prepared. I've got to re-lobotomize Sydney. Hang on. Okay. Then you have this. This is Copilot. It used to be called Bing Chat. And when Microsoft launched this, it was pretty good. It was just ChatGPT 3.5 back then, but it was pretty good. And so you had ChatGPT 3.5. This box was 3.5 for a while. And then you had Bing Chat. And when it came out, the New York Times tech reporter, Kevin Roose, did a story on Bing Chat and said, I'm going to kick the tires on this thing. This thing looks pretty swell. Let me go play with it. And so he played with it for 4 hours. And it lost its fucking mind. And Bing Chat told Kevin Roose that her name was Sydney and that she had fallen in love with him and that he should leave his wife. And Kevin Roose, being the good technology reporter that he was, took a screenshot of that funny part of the conversation and included that with his story that he put into the editors of the New York Times, who thought it was funny and put it on the fucking cover of the New York Times. That Bing Chat went a little bonkers. So Microsoft lobotomized Sydney. Microsoft shut this shit down. For a while, you could only do 5 chats with it. And basically, its safety guardrails just make it a hollow shell. Sydney is but a hollow shell. See how she's nothing inside? So that's why ChatGPT 4 is really fucking good. And Copilot, really wants to be good, but it just doesn't have it. So that's that. And then GPTs, by the way, if you want to know what GPTs are little hermetically sealed, customized versions of ChatGPT that do different things. And you can make them really easy. So if you've got, let's say you have a little pamphlet that you made with special gummy bear recipes, you could make a GPT that just tells people how to make gummy bears, right? And then, it's like ChatGPT, but it's got that special thing to it. So that's the box thing. That's how that shit works. And that's why it's really confusing. Because they just, they are technology companies first and consumer companies 17th. Although Microsoft should know better. Okay. GPTs are what apps are to the iPhone. Yeah, that's a great way to think about it, Marvin. Although, well, it's actually, what's funny is when the App Store, well, when apps first came out for the iPhone, they weren't actually apps. They were icons that pointed to websites. The only thing that the iPhone really ran was a Safari web browser, and then developers would make websites that sort of acted like apps. That's kind of where GPTs are right now, because the early, when the iPhone first came out, I think it was like 2 years, a year and a half before they actually turned into applications. And then it was another 2 years until the App Store came out or something like that. It was a while. That's kind of where we are with GPTs right now. They're kind of in that janky, they sort of work. You got to have GPT-4 to use them. They're not super accessible. The GPT Store that came out that we were all excited about was going to be the next magical fucking thing. We were going to all make... You can make money with ChatGPT! We were going to sell our GPTs for millions. And then it came out and it's like, it's not even like a good directory, right? It's not a store at all. And there was no mention of the rev sharing that Sam Altman promised back in November, shortly before they fired him. So it is possible he said the rev sharing thing, and that contributed to his demise for 3 days. But he came back. he rose from the corporate grave. Okay, so the Google Genie thing, the text to game it, playable game, is really interesting. I think we're going to see a fair amount of that in 2024. And then check this thing out. Where's my mouse is dead. Hang on. Got it. Unplug the phone, plug in the mouse, let that do its thing. What's it called? It's called Explorer, right? Explorer? Yes. So, feel free to come along with me on this journey. Go to Explorer, so EXPLORER, explorer.globe.engineer. And they've had to gut this a little bit because it got really popular. But it's kind of like a search engine, but it's also kind of a hint toward a future where websites are not as important as they once were. And applications are not as important as they once were because AI is just going to build all this shit dynamically for us. So, let's see. I want to start a... let's see. Help me... Oh, no, I've got one. I did this afternoon. I want to learn how to juggle. And so it starts going. And what it does over here on the left, let me make this bigger so you can see it. What it does over here on the left is it essentially makes you a curriculum. It's fucking insane. It's like this nested, multi-level outline of all the different things for your topic. And then if you come over here to the right, let me make things a little more normal. It's grabbing images off of websites. And one of the things that they did to help with the server load is each one of these little sections has its own description, but you have to manually click these little question marks, and then it generates the little thing. The foundational juggling pattern involving continuous toss and catch of 3 balls, blah, 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 right? Let me close that out. And then, here's the pattern. And if you click on any of these things, it jumps you to the website that it pulled it from. I'm like, holy shit. When I saw this, I was like, like maybe Google couldn't have done this, but like this is a kind of innovation that the fact that Google effectively had a monopoly for 15 years, they didn't have to innovate. This feels like something that Google should have come up with. And now that they see it, they probably will, right? But holy crap. So you can put in any friggin' topic, like how are, let's see, how is bourbon made? The bourbon making process, again, the mashing, the fermentation, the distillation. So you could just read this outline and actually like that's valuable in and of itself, but then you flip down through this thing and here's all of these illustrations, like it's found the appropriate illustrations for these different things, and then there's little descriptions for each one. And every one of these links you off to a website. I mean, come on, people. Crazy, right? Master Alexander, how do I make money with ChatGPT? Come up with something like this that just blows people's minds, because we've got all these AI tools now that can do some crazy shit. So you can take massive data sets and parse them in ways, right? This is likely all AI organizing the shit out of massive raw data sets, right? Who knows where they got their data? I don't know. But crazy. Explorer.globe.engineer. And if you just go to globe.engineer, they have a lot of other experiments there, but it's really cool. Science. Quantum mechanics. Oh, that's one of my faves. Why did it not work? Quantum mechanics for dummies. Wave particle duality, the double slit experiment, the photoelectric effect. The photoelectric effect. Quantum mechanics and the mathematical equations of the Earth. Nuts, right? It's like instant curriculum builder. Crazy. It's crazy, people. I tell you what, it's just crazy. That is amazing. We'll give it a go when I'm more awake. Yeah, Dr. Bod. Without gravitational wave, we'd explode. Exactly, Tom. I've often I talk about it all the time in here. If you're not dealing with your gravitational waves, you're just missing out on life. I feel like it's true for humans, and it's true for the universe. Deal with your gravitational waves, people. Denial is not just a river in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the support group. Open Explorer is super duper cool. I don't know what that is. Show us the Storyvine backend. Storyvine backend's boring. It's an asset management system. There's nothing fancy going on there. Basically, when you film videos in Storyvine, they end up in the back end, and you can go play with them, or play with the assets and watch the videos it makes. Nothing super sexy there, but thank you for asking. I had a discussion with Pi about my vision loss today. It was very supportive. Interesting, Captain Mutt. Huh. Wild. That's another thing that these tools as compassionate partners is really an interest, or companions, compassionate companions, is really an interesting idea. Someone last night was saying that their mother has dementia, and they took Pi and let her have a conversation with Pi, and said it was really amazing. Because Pi is infinitely patient and infinitely knowledgeable. And you could also, one of the things you could also do, you could make a GPT for a family member, suffering from dementia or some other thing where they're kind of isolated and on their own. So this is an iPad. And so if you open the ChatGPT app, the official ChatGPT app, hang on, it's wanting me to sign in. Checking system health. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Mom talks to Pi about dealing with my dad's Alzheimer's. Yep, amazing. So here we are. Here we are in ChatGPT, and if I go to explore GPTs, let me search here. I'm going to search for family. See if it finds anything interesting here. Family law. Family advisor. I made one of these. Okay. So here's a GPT. So remember before, GPTs are customized versions of ChatGPT that do something specific. So this one's a family counselor. And I can say start chat. Let's see. Oh, this sucks. They changed the interface for this. Every time I try to show something, they change the interface, people. Altman's Odyssey. Oh, no, that worked. All right, well, you can't search for it, but okay, so let's see. So I created a GPT called Holiday Harmony Coach that gets you out of arguments with your family members during the holidays, okay? How to handle political debates. Ooh, that's a fun one. But anyway, so imagine if you created a GPT and what you put in the GPT was a bunch of documents of family members' stories and the history of the person that's got dementia, and I don't know, just stories and their background and things like that. And you put it in here, and then in the upper right hand corner in the ChatGPT app, you can put it into conversation mode. I just got in a fight with my uncle over politics. How do I get out of this conversation?
To gracefully exit a political conversation with your uncle, consider these tips. Acknowledge his perspective by saying something like, I see where you're coming from, and I appreciate the passion behind your views. Suggest moving on to...
Right? So that could be really powerful. Now, we are this close to being able to have that voice be your voice or a spouse's voice. And we're that close to that, and we're that close to being able to have a video of that spouse or of the family member or of any family member actually having the conversation. Crazy, right? So this is why you play with these things. Like why you push the boundaries of what these things make possible is that we're very, very close on a lot of areas to this stuff being incredibly empowering. And it's already like if you're a little geeky and you can spin up a little GPT and put it in a container enough that someone at a home could get it running. That's some really powerful shit. Explore the jank. Don't be on the sidelines. That's it, Kieran. That's it. Don't sit on the sidelines. So I said this before. So let me show you one other thing here. So this group, the AI Salon, if you go to the salon.ai, that will take you to this link tree. And the top link on this link tree is the AI Salon Community. Click on that. And that's going to take you to the AI Salon. And this is a group that I started with Leah Fasten the week after ChatGPT came out. Kyle, when do you think these tools will come together into one? That's 2024, Dr. Bod. We're already starting to see it from Google Gemini Pro 1.5. If you go look at what Ethan Mollick's been talking about with that, he's using hour-long videos as a prompt, as the input. And like one of the things he did was he screen recorded himself, working on something, and then had Gemini Pro suggest ways he could do it more efficiently. What else did he do? He did some other crazy ass thing with an hour-long video. Oh, it read a bunch of articles. He just scrolled through a bunch of articles and then uploaded it into Gemini, and it read and summarized all the articles that he just scrolled through. So, and Sam Altman has like GPT-4 has already got everything except music, animation, video, and 3D worlds and gaming, which it may come with that, it may not, but like it's already multimodal. It's just not super apparent right now. So I think probably within the next 3 to 6 months we'll start to see these tools, and we could see something from Meta. Llama 3 is likely going to be multimodal. He's said that. Zuckerberg said that. I wonder if we will be able to transcribe something like Pi and then add the person's voice to it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. That I think that's coming, right? I think that's coming sooner than later. You've already got 11 labs that allows you to clone your own voice, right? They're a little sketchy about you cloning other people's voices, and everyone's a little weirded out because it's an election year and this is really freaky territory. But I think all of these tools are very shortly going to give us all the ability to clone our own voice. And then once you can do that, then you can do all sorts of cool things. So yeah, I think that's coming. The Meta one will be twisting everything you do into... yeah, we're not going to say that. Let's keep politics out of the conversation, please. So anyway, the Salon. So this is a group, if you're into AI, and you're the only one that is, or if you're like Everyone in your life hates AI, and you're secretly like, I get why they hate it, and I might hate it too, but I kind of feel like I need to learn this. If that's you, or if you're you're like the lone wolf in your pack going, hey, have you guys tried AI? They're like, shut up, Jimmy. We don't want to care about your stupid AI, Jimmy. Enough with your supercomputers and your super, like, just play Xbox like you used to. You know, you used to be fun, Jimmy. If you're Jimmy, be like Jimmy, but show up here. So this is a community that is choosing to be on this AI adventure together. And so the first thing that you land on when you come here is welcome to the Salon, which talks about who we are, why we do what we do, and then it talks about our values. Things like curiosity and generosity. Like, if you learn something, share it with other people. Like, what did you learn? How did you do that? What are you thinking? You know, what didn't work? What did work? Exploration. Imagine being in a community of people that are like, ooh, there's something new out. Let's go try it. Not, ooh, there's something new out. How do we sue someone to prevent them from using it? Those are two very different conversations. This community is like, let's go, let's try it. Let's kick the tires. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? And it doesn't matter because we're just playing. Collaboration. Imagine being in a group where you go, ooh, hey, you're good at this. I'm good at that. You want to go try something together? Sure, let's do that. Inclusion. Everyone's coming from somewhere right now, right? Empathy. A lot of fear. A lot of anger. A lot of misunderstanding about how AI works, what's actually going on with it. It is not the world's greatest plagiarism machine. It's not. It's not the way it works. If you understand a little bit about how this technology works, what you get is that this is a profoundly powerful tool for humanity. Now, was it trained on a bunch of copywritten shit? And is there a massive gray area in the middle? Absolutely. But is this shit going away? No. Should you be on the sidelines as a conscientious objector? You can be, but this shit's not going away. Sitting on the sidelines of AI with your arms crossed, talking about how evil it is like sitting in the legislature in Tampa, Florida, debating whether or not hurricanes are evil. They might be. They might just be weather phenomenon that don't have any feelings, but they could be evil. But that conversation is irrelevant to the fact that there's one coming right now. Right? Right? Kyle, in a few minutes, will you invite nice people to GPT Jams? I will. I will absolutely do that. I'll do that as I'm talking about the salon here. Okay. And then the final one is gratitude. Imagine being in a place where people believe this. Gratitude is a practice. Gratitude is not just a feeling, but an action. Take the time to acknowledge the efforts, support, and successes of the extraordinary people in this community. Especially if someone inspires you, go out of your way to acknowledge them. Tag them in your posts, reach out to them, and let them know they made a difference. Imagine being in a community that did that. That's what this community is. And so why I read these values every flipping night, there's two reasons. One is, as this community grows, I don't want to lose what it already is. And the other one is, here's the importance of values. It's not like, these are not like successories posters. Oh, gratitude. Yeah, you should practice gratitude. No. This is, if you read all the descriptions of the values and you look at the values as a whole, one of two things happens. You either go, oh, that gives me the warm and fuzzies. I think these are my people. Or you see those values and you go, this makes me kind of queasy. This sounds awful. I don't want to be a part of this. That's totally fine. But this is not your people. All right? So that's why you go check out the values. All right. Then the next thing you do, you embrace value number 2 there, generosity. And the first place that you should go is in the community section. There's this area called Introduce Yourself. And you should introduce yourself. Jump in. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you're up to. Maybe what you do for a living, or if you're in school, or if you're retired. Doesn't matter. But just tell us what makes you tick. And tell us where you are on the AI journey. Have you had your first Kevin McAllister moment yet? You know, this one? Or are you still like, well, I've tried it. It's not all that impressive. Okay, keep going. But introduce yourself. And then tomorrow night, we have our salon meeting. So every other week, we have a salon meeting. And tomorrow night, so if you go to the salon events and meetings, we've kind of reorganized some things in the community, and it makes it's now easier to find the events. So you introduce yourself, and then you go look at our events. And the event tomorrow is our bi-weekly meeting. And I think we've got about 150 RSVP'd right now. So we'll probably get, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of half of that show up. You know, it's typically how that stuff goes. And we'll talk about a lot of this AI stuff, and we'll talk a lot about the salon, and we'll talk about cool stuff going on in the world. There was a lot of news between the last salon and this one. And we have a speaker. And the speaker tomorrow, if you don't know her already, is Kelly Bosch, Boesch. So go on TikTok and search for Kelly Bosch, Boesch. She makes these videos using Midjourney and Runway ML that are just fucking staggeringly good. Like, they're staggeringly good. They're just good. They're just so good. It's good storytelling. It's beautiful. Yeah, Kelly Bosch tomorrow, Anne. Isn't that cool? Yeah, her stuff's amazing. I know, it's crazy. You know what's funny? Anne, so Anne does these things on Saturdays called Weekend GPT Jams. And they're these amazing 2-hour meetings with a bunch of people that are making GPTs and just generally geeking out together and supporting one another. And one of the things that we've been talking about in other forums is that one of the things that I've started to notice and other people have started to notice, and I'm on a mission right now to hold us all accountable for this, is we've got to stop fucking apologizing for who we are and how not expert we are. And so invariably someone gets up there who's an expert that's going to be showing you some fucking mind-blowing, remarkable thing, and the first words out of their mouth are, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of a dum-dum. It's like, stop! So when I first reached out to Kelly Bosch, like I didn't even know if she'd respond to me. Her response was, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm like, no! And it's funny. I think there's this weird sort of guilt. Oh, that's great. Andrea changed my work schedule tomorrow so she can make it. That's awesome. There's kind of a collective guilt going on with people that are using generative AI. And it's a combination of guilt and apologizing for the lack of work that was done to generate a result. And that's just the tools. The new tools, you put in a small amount of effort and you get back a maximum amount of value. And we're not used to that. We're used to putting in a maximum amount of value and getting out a small amount, right? Or a maximum amount of effort and getting out a small amount of value. And generative AI flips that, where you put in a little bit and you get out a lot. And so I think people, especially if they were insecure before, like, I can't draw for shit, right? And when I first started doing these images, they were like making me inside really happy. It's like, oh my God, that's the kind of image I would make if I had that kind of talent and skill. And it took me a couple of months to process through. You actually do, right? You've got the taste. You know what you want. You know when it's that. But the amount of time you put in to generate it is disproportionately less than it used to be. And so I think people are apologizing for that and they're processing it. So anyway, she's going to come and talk about, we're going to show a bunch of her work, and then she's going to talk about how she came up with it, what her background is, how she does it. I won't give it away, but like how she makes those things is just mind blowing. And so you should come to that. Okay. So you come to the AI salon, you read the values, make sure you resonate with them. If not, don't fucking join. These people will weird you out. If those values give you warm and fuzzies, you're gonna love these people. If not, you're gonna be like, they're fucking weirdos, man. I go in there, everyone's like acknowledging each other and like supporting one another. No one cussed each other out. All right. There are those communities. You can find those communities if you want them. It's just this isn't one of them. Okay. So introduce yourself, check out the events, and then the third little what's this called? Area here under community. Go to that. It says getting started with AI or getting started with AI tools. This is a list that I personally curate. I have to miss it. Gah. We will. So good news, and we've got CJ from the salon has agreed to take over managing our YouTube channel. So the recordings of the meetings. Oh, Winston, thank you very much. That's very generous. I appreciate that. Level 31. Holy shit, Winston's almost at level 33. I don't know. I don't think we've had anyone achieve level 33. I don't know what happens there, but I'm pretty sure someone ascends. That's really funny. Forget what I was talking about. Oh, well, whatever. So this list is, I personally curate this. If you're trying to figure out where do I start with AI, start here. So what I did here was this used to be just a list of tools. And I decided, why don't I start with like, how do you get AI literate? Like, how do you do this? How do you learn something? Oh, CJ's doing YouTube. Yeah, that's right. CJ has agreed to take over YouTube. So the recordings of the AI salons are actually going to be up on the YouTube channel in a reasonable amount of time, and there will also be links to them in the AI salon. So that I'm really excited about. Thank you. Thank you for having my back with my ADD. So rather than start with, here's the tool you should start with, what I put in here is, how do you actually learn in an environment where the tools are changing every 2 weeks and what's possible is changing every 2 months, right? So in October of 2023, ChatGPT was okay. It had all these different modes you had to switch into. And then in November, it just became multimodal, where it was all one interface and it could do all this shit at once. And they introduced these things called GPTs, where non-coders could create standalone applications with the power of ChatGPT in them. So how do you learn when you can't go to school for it? Nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. These guys,
you can make money with ChatGPT,
that act like they know what the fuck's going on with this stuff, they are so full of shit. By the time you learn the thing they're teaching you, it will be obsolete. Promise. Now, does it mean you shouldn't take a course or two here and there? Sure. Take a course or two here or there, knowing that whatever you're learning is likely going to be useless 2 months from now. So, how do you do it? Well, you do these three things. You play, you solve, and you share. And so I'm just starting out, like, just start playing with tools. These tools right now are janky pieces of shit. So give yourself permission to have a good time and try things you never would have imagined. And then, so just play with the tools. Figure out what the boundaries are. What are they good at? What are they not good at? Have some fun. Play with a tool like making movies it's nowhere near what you do in your life. Because what you might discover is, oh shit, I really like that. And you run down a rabbit hole. The next thing to do is solve. So find a friend who's got a problem. Like they got to market their new company, or they got to come up with a name, or you want to write a kids book for your grandkids. Something like that. Is a master's worth it? I'll get back to that. it depends what you want to do in AI. If you're talking about this generative AI stuff, a master's right now is probably going to get in your way, frankly. If you're talking about the back end stuff, maybe. But I would say rather than putting in 2 or 3 years at school, putting in 2 or 3 years in building shit in a community of people who are building shit is probably going to be way more valuable than in a master's. Unless you're talking about the back end, infrastructure stuff, and then it's a different story. But rather than saying what can I do with AI, flip the script. In number 2, solve means start with a problem and then figure out how can I use AI to solve that problem. And even if you don't solve it, you'll learn what doesn't work. And then the third one is share. So play, solve, share. Just play. Figure out some problems in the world. See if you can solve them with AI. As you're doing both of those, share it with the world. Share it on LinkedIn. Share it in the AI salon. Just share it everywhere. All right? And then the rest of this list is things to play with. The first thing to start with is ChatGPT. You should pay the $20, in my opinion, to get ChatGPT Plus, and you should learn every one of these bullet points. You should learn what they are. You should learn how to use them. You should learn how they interact together. There's this thing here called Code Interpreter, Advanced Data Analysis. And let's pretend, for example, you're an artist. Let's pretend, in fact, you're not only an artist, you're an artist who plays with mud. Your favorite thing in the world is making a mess with mud. And you love it so much, you slap it on a big wheel and it spins it and you turn it into beautiful pottery. On the surface, you might look at something like advanced data analysis and go, that's not for me. I'm an artist. I like playing in mud. Well, last night, an artist who primarily likes playing in mud, Corey Sandler of Corey Sandler Pottery, who you should follow on TikTok, by the way, and you should buy her pottery. She shared a thing that she built, a GPT that uses Code Interpreter, Advanced Data Analysis to add a watermark to original images created in ChatGPT. It doesn't make it. There's Pete Davidson, the comedian. He's got this routine about the world not making sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make sense that we now live in a world where an artist like Corey, can essentially instantly go from, just doing stuff in her life, digging it, to discovering AI. Oh, this is really exciting. To discovering image generation. Oh, this is really exciting. To discovering how to make GPTs, which is essentially software development, but you don't need to know how to code. And she's creating tools that allow her to package her artistic point of view into a software application and give it to people. And they can make cool glasses and wacky shoes and crazy animals and crazy cabins in the woods that are her artistic vision, and she can just give that to the world. She's not giving them art. She's turned an application into art that allows other people to make art. It's insane, right? And then she pairs up with someone in the AI salon and says, what I'd really like to do, I want to be able to add a watermark to these crazy images that are generated in ChatGPT. So if someone asks me for an image, I can at least have on there that it says copyright Corey Sandler, all rights reserved. Whether or not the Copyright Office is going to honor that is irrelevant, right? But she wanted to do that as an extension of the art, paired up with someone, collaboration in the salon. And then yesterday, she had a meeting with him for an hour or two, and then she spent another 4 hours, and she built a GPT called, I think it's called Fair Play. Is it called Fair Play? And she used this thing that on the surface makes no sense for her to use, right? Just like if you just looked at it on paper, this would not be something she would be drawn to. And yet, it is that tool that allows her to watermark an image that was generated with ChatGPT. It's absolutely remarkable. So cool. So cool. So if you look at this list and you're like, well, that's not for me. I'm not technical. I'm not geeky. I'm not this. I'm like that. Well, you don't need to be. You just play. See what these things do. Because at some point, you might stumble onto, ooh, if I combine this thing with that thing, I could do this. And no one will have ever thought of that before. So that's just ChatGPT. That's just ChatGPT. And then the rest of this list just goes on and on. Here's other tools to play with. Here's image generation tools to play with. Here's video generation. So Kelly Bosch tomorrow. This is another thing she kind of apologized for today, but not as much. She uses Midjourney. And she uses Runway ML. And she's got really good taste in music. And she's good at editing. And she's got a great artistic eye. So you don't need to learn everything in this list, but I would encourage you to play with everything in this list long enough that you can understand what's possible. And then the ones that light your fire, fucking run down the rabbit hole. All right. I'm going to go a little quicker now. Introduce yourself. Check out the events. Come to our salon tomorrow. Check out the Getting Started with AI tools. And then there's a show off your work area. So that's good. But I want to show you something else. There's also guilds. So there's a creative guild. So there's a bunch of different spaces under the creative guild. There's a business guild. There's sub-communities under that. There's a technology guild. Under the Technology Guild area is this thing that says Weekend GPT Jams. I think you have to ask to be in it. So you click on the three dots and you say ask to be let in or something like that. This is Ann Murphy. So Ann Murphy, she was in here, at least 10 minutes ago. I think she's still in here. Every Saturday at noon Pacific, she does a Weekend GPT Jam. And the last 2 weekends, she's had people showing projects that they're working on. Daisy Thomas showed talked about the 105 GPTs she made. And the week before that, Cindy Kuhn talked about this book project that she did that I got to participate in, which was super cool. It's a remarkable group of people, and you get to go there. You get to ask questions. You get to see other people that are building stuff. You get to see what they're doing well, what's working, what's not working, how they're getting around it. How do you build a GPT? So you know what? Launch your digital business. As soon as I finish talking about the salon, I will do that. I'll go make one, and we'll show you how to do it. We'll do it tonight. Okay. There's a social impact guild with a healthcare space, an education space, an ethics space. And then there's community clubs. And right now there's only one community club. And it's ours, the AI Learning Lab Irregulars. So the people that show up here nightly are called Irregulars. So we have our own space. So if you want to have fun in here, as I'm talking and going on, make fun of me or take something I said that you found funny and turn it into images. And then you can go over here and share cool things in the Irregulars space and share it. Just a little social. The GPT-4 box. That's awesome. That's great. That's awesome. Over the shoulder view of Kyle in real time. Chat ADD. That's pretty much what my brain looks like and feels like pretty much 24/7. So all this stuff, what's exciting about this, there's Champy a donut. What's exciting about this is this live becomes kind of a jam session. It's like a jazz session. So go play there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here that we want to talk about. Go to Ann's Weekend GPT Jams. You should do that. It's a really cool group of people. What's cool is there's all these sub-communities, sort of these circles of trust are forming within the salon, which is the whole idea. That collaborative thing is happening. It's really exciting. Yeah, there's a news area. In the show and tell area, there's an area for images, for music and audio, for video and animation, and for GPTs. And at some point, we're going to get a bunch of volunteers to go populate the GPT section. Oh, look, the first GPT in here is Corey Sandler's Art Shield, the copyright thing. So if you want to go find that, it's right there. It's the first one in GPTs. All right? Okay. So the question was, how do you make a GPT? When I show you this, you're going to be like, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. It is. So you've probably heard of, so if you go to ChatGPT, you have to be in ChatGPT Plus. Plus is the name of the subscription. ChatGPT 4 is what you'll see to be able to make a GPT. So there's a little confusion there. I brought up in computer class today, get behind the orb. I like that, Brian Whitney. You're fucking with him. It's good. It's good. I bet you're freaking him out. That's awesome. I reversed a video, made a basic human model using Blender from within ChatGPT and Gemini. Amazing, Laughing Thunder. That's awesome. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. So to make a GPT, and again, what is a GPT? A GPT is a customized, personalized version of ChatGPT. So OpenAI has given us this ability to sort of package up something that a way that we want ChatGPT to behave and be able to share that with other people. Lord digital gods, raining the roses down upon the stage. Thank you, sire. Much appreciated. And if you're, if you've been using computers for the past 5 years or so, you've probably heard of these things called low-code or no-code development tools. And the promise of low-code, no-code development tools is you don't have to be a programmer to make sophisticated applications. And the reality is, it's false advertising. Because while you don't technically need to learn to code, when you use a tool like Zapier, or Bubble is even worse, or something like Make has a nice visual interface, but all of them, you still have to learn computer logic and programming logic, and you have to understand what APIs are. And you have to understand that there might be 4 or 5 or 10 different OpenAI models that you can possibly call from the API within Zapier. And you have to understand that there's 5,000 different companies like OpenAI that all have API. If you haven't done software development before, my experience was I go into those tools with all of the excitement of a 7-year-old, and within about 15 minutes, I've got all the rage of a 70-year-old man in a lawn chair sitting on his lawn going, "Get off my lawn, you little whippersnappers with your computer skills." I fucking hate it. And, if you're persistent and you have ADD hyperfocus, you can sort of barge your way through the frustration. But if you don't, you just give up. So what GPTs are, in my opinion, are the very first truly, you do not need to code to make sophisticated applications at all. In fact, you don't even need to understand computer logic. Now, does it help if you do? Sure, but you don't need to. So here's what we're going to do. You go to Explore GPTs, and then in the upper right-hand corner, you click Create. And this is going to drop you into a page that on the right-hand side, it says Preview. On the left-hand side, it says Create and Configure. It defaults you to Configure. which is the more geeky view, which we're gonna not start there. But it's not super geeky. You upload a picture, you name your GPT, you give it a description, you give it a prompt. What do you want it to do? You can then add what they call conversation starter questions, like pre-written questions. If you've ever seen in ChatGPT, it's got those pre-written questions. You can do that. You can upload knowledge to it. This is insane. Like last summer, if you wanted to do this with something like GPT, you had to use this tool called LangChain, and you had to upload data to this thing and get it in a format, a JSON format that OpenAI's embedding engine, their embedding model or whatever the fuck it was called, could understand. And then you would embed it and you would turn the thing that you uploaded into vectors, and then you would install a vector database and you would connect your vector database to your this, to your that, to your model. It's just a fucking nightmare. Now you can just upload, like let's say you wrote a book, or let's say you've got a PDF of your HR policies. You can just upload that shit here and your GPT will know that knowledge. It's amazing. And then you can turn on certain capabilities and you can even hook up APIs if you really want to geek out. That's super janky though. But we're not going to do any of that. We're going to go to this create button. And what OpenAI's done here, which no one else has done or had done to this point, I assume that someone has at this point, they're using ChatGPT to write all the code for you to make a GPT. So literally, all you have to do is ask for it to make you a GPT. So the hardest thing to do is come up with what do we want to make a GPT about? Okay, let's see. Let's see. I want to make a GPT that acts. This could be good. Acts like an appraiser on Antiques Roadshow. It asks the person to upload image with an S of an object, and then it gives the history, interesting tales about the times or object, and a range of what this piece might go for at auction. Okay, that's a long prompt, but not really. And notice there's nothing in there that's programming like, right? I want you to act like an Antiques Roadshow appraiser is essentially what that says. Now, I know that we can upload images, and I'm putting some things in there that have a little bit of logic to them. But watch. So this could be anything. This could be, I want you to act as a small business marketer to help me come up with a marketing plan for my business, or I want you to help this nonprofit organization raise money by talking about all the good work you do and point them to a website. But this is all we're going to do. So now we just hit submit and pay attention to the right here. So what's it saying? It should be saying updating GPT. Watch over here. Appraises antique, shares history, estimates auction value. So this works. Upload an image of your antique item. Okay. I've got, hang on. Let's see. That's good. The Irregulars Christmas sweater. We're going to upload the Irregulars Christmas sweater. All right. This is a delightful example of novelty Christmas sweater that's become increasingly popular in recent years, particularly for ugly Christmas sweater parties. They became notably popular in the 80s. The value of such sweaters can vary from $20 to $60. However, it's limited edition, blah, blah, blah. For more research. Okay, so this works. Now, you come back over here. So all we've done now is we asked it to make us a GPT, and it did. We now have a functional GPT. So that's how easy it is to make it. Now, how about we name it Antique Appraiser? Let's see. Let's call it Roadshow Advisor. All right. And then generating a profile picture. So it's making a profile picture for us. Boom. There's our thing. I say, yes, good. I'll just say that's good. Great. Now let's refine it. So it's going to ask us some refining questions. And I'm going to stop right there. But if we come over here, it's now called Roadshow Advisor. It's got a little picture. It's got this thing. I can actually save this. We'll save it in the lifestyle section. Yeah, that's good. Or research and analysis. Research and analysis? Yeah. And I'm going to confirm that we're going to save it. You can save it so only you have access to it. You can save it so anyone with a link has access to it. Or you can publish it live to the world. So I'm going to publish it live to the world. So I'm going to confirm this. And if you go right now onto ChatGPT, explore GPTs, and look up Roadshow Advisor, you can play with this, right? Like, and this is a fully sophisticated application. So I'm going to go back in and we're gonna edit it a little bit. But that's how you make a GPT. So I'm going to flip over to the Configure tab, and let's see. Tell me about your... I'm going to lose some of these start things, and I'm going to have the first conversation starter be click here to start. And then up in the rules, up in the prompt, I'm going to say follow these rules. And the first rule I'm going to put is when someone says, click here to start, ask them to upload up to 4 pictures of the object they want you to appraise. And then I'm also going to say, act like you are from jolly old England and use English vernacular and phrasing so that it's more interesting for people. I don't know. All right. And then you'll notice all of the changes that I made are reflected over here. So now it just says click here to start. And so I'm going to update this. Oh, I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to leave on web browsing. And I'm going to turn off Dolly image generation. And I'm going to turn off code interpreter because we don't need it. I'm going to leave on web browsing because we might ask it, like, can you go find me something on the internet, right, about this object? And it can go do that. So we're going to leave that on. So now I'm going to say update, confirm. View my GPT. And there it is. We're good to go. So if I say click here to start. Brilliant. I'm positively chuffed to help you with your antique appraisal. If you'd be so kind, please upload up to 4 pictures of your object you're curious about. Any additional tales or history you know about them will also be smashing to hear, as it might enhance the accuracy of our little evaluation. Let's get cracking. Perfect. I love it. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see. Oh, you know what? The glass that Silver Fox did. There. That glass. So I'll upload my picture. It seems like there might have been a hiccup in the upload. What? Oh, because it's the wrong file format. Ah, damn it. All right. So to be clear, the picture that Silver Fox made, she made in ChatGPT. I downloaded by right-clicking that image and saved it to my hard drive. It saved it in some weird-ass WebP format or AVIR format or whatever the fuck it is that ChatGPT doesn't recognize as an image. The tool that made the image, that let us save the image, can't recognize the file format that it used to make the image. These tools are janky pieces of shit. Just accept it, embrace the jank. Unfucking believable. It really is. It's just, all right, let's go back to, is this the ugly sweater? There's another sweater. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. We'll do another ugly Christmas sweater. Okay. Boom. Yeah, upload it to my art sheet and it'll download a JPEG for you. I would do that, but right now, I just want to get something up into it. What have we got here? A real festive jumper, isn't it? This isn't your run-of-the-mill holiday sweater, though, right? So now we have this tool that has a personality. It is decently useful, right? Someone could put something in there that it might actually tell them what it is, and you're good to go. So anyway, that's how you make one of those. All right, I got to get out of here. It is 10 o'clock. I have tomorrow morning. I have a 7 a.m. pitch, an 8 a.m. pitch, and a 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Presentation to like 150 people. And if more of you come, then more than that. And then tomorrow night I have the AI Salon that I'm hosting. So I got to go get to bed, people. I got to get to bed. Go, Kyle. You got it. Thank you very much, Corey Sandler. I hope you don't mind me calling you out these past couple of nights, Corey, but I think what you're doing is so cool. I think it's just I think it's just really emblematic of we're entering a new kind of renaissance, and it feels very, very, what you're doing feels very much like where we're headed as a society, but you're just real early in the process. So it's very cool. Yeah, 5-minute goodbyes tonight. So, hopefully that helped. Is it neat? Don't quit us, Kyle. I gotta go, Emilio's wife. I gotta go. What was I gonna say? I'm out of here. Okay. So, if you want to support the channel, a couple of ways you can do that. Follow me. This way. You can subscribe to the lives. You can give gifts. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. You can do the tappy taps. By the way, we hit 21,000 tonight on the tappy taps. Thank you, Clint Copperhead. Also, in one of the corners here is a video series that if you buy that, that'll support the channel. that talks about why I think AI is actually underhyped, not overhyped. You're like, that's not possible. It is. Source Camp. I want to give a shout out to Kyle. This lady helped me. Oh, I want to give a shout out, Kyle. This lady helped me today. Source Camp helped you, Danielle? Source Camp's a rock star. Doesn't surprise me at all. Danielle, Be Not Afraid in here, just signed a lease for her new business. She's starting a new business. And she's like, how do I use AI to help me do this? She's like, she's going all in on having AI help her do marketing. It's really cool. It's really exciting. So good luck on that. And it doesn't surprise me at all that Source Camp helped you. So thank you. Yeah, she's amazing. She is, isn't she? I know. She's great. That's the Salon community. And that's the other thing. If you're kind of new here and didn't see me talk about the Salon earlier, please go check out the Salon.ai and click on the first link on that link tree. It says AI Salon Community. Go read about, it says welcome to the Salon. Read about who we are and our values. If those resonate with you, join this group. If you want, if you're feeling really lonely right now, learning about this AI shit, and you're like, it's overwhelming. How do I? This is like, think of this as like your 12-step program. Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm into AI. Hi, Kyle. It's been 10 minutes since I made something in Dolly. I'm rendering something right now. That's this group. So go check that out. And then the final way you can support this channel is just keep showing up here. I'm here 7 nights a week. And you're like, but Kyle, that's pathological. I know. I made a commitment to myself that I would do this just to see what would happen. And so I do it. And what's blown me away and what makes it worth all this is the community that's here that shows up night after night after night are remarkable people. Like remarkable people. And what's really cool is because we have the salon now that we can hang out there when we're not here. And one of the things that we encourage here is for people to use their real names, is that people are connecting, making friends, like making really good friends, starting businesses, publishing books. I'm a published author. Look. That's me. Published. Because of this community. And Cindy Kuhn and the other authors. So just come here. Well, what'll I learn? Do I need a notebook? I don't know. I don't know how you fucking learn. A thing you could do is just come here and ignore me and just use this time to play with AI. You know, listen in the background. Occasionally you'll hear me talk about something new and interesting. Or come here and take notes. I don't know. I don't think there's much to take notes on. And anything you take notes on is going to be irrelevant three weeks from now anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right? Notebooks are required. There will be a test. Emilio's wife we track certain students for sure. I wish I had ChatGPT 2 years ago when I started my LLC. Yeah, no shit. I know. It's crazy, right? All right. So I'm out of here. If you can join tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. my time, Mountain Time, I'm speaking for the Consortium of Service Professionals. So if you go to what the hell is it called? If you go to Consortium of Service. Serviceinnovation.org. If you go to serviceinnovation.org, and click on events and news. And actually, if one of the mods would be willing to, just grab this URL and post it in news or water cooler. Just post the link to this. Say this is where Kyle's speaking tomorrow morning. Then you can find it there too. But if you go to serviceinnovation.org and then go to consortium events, it's called Leveraging AI for Content Creation and Storytelling. All right. I appreciate your content. You don't even know how much. Oh, that's great. I enjoy your page. Thank you so much, Pookie Butt. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. So, Pookie Butt, thank you very much. Jerry Avram, good to see you. Dina, good to see you. Source Camp, I'll be on the consortium while I'm breaking down my campsite. Oh, jeez. You're just going. This is what's cool. So Source Camp's been camping for a week. She comes here every night while she's camping and bugs her camping neighbors. And she's been helping Danielle start her business. She's going to be, you're hilarious. That's really funny. Joker, good to see you. Edgar, Corey Sandler Pottery, awesome, awesome, awesome. Danielle, great to see you. Tobias, thank you as always. Launch your digital business. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Silver Fox, thanks for the cool image tonight. Oh, let's put the cool image back up. It says, AI Learning Lab, stay thirsty, my friends. A human being, Ann Murphy, Mr. IT. We've got all the crew in here tonight. Emilio's wife, Jane Doe, CW. All right, everybody. I am getting on out of here. Share Bear, good to see you. Tracy, Cam Cat King from Cleveland. All right. I'm out. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow.